Alright, I'm a month and a half late to reviewing this movie, but you know what? It is better late than never. I really wish I had seen this movie sooner. Such a feel-good movie. So The Holdovers is a brand new comedy drama directed by Alexander Payne, and it stars Paul Giamatti, Divine Joy Randolph, and Dominic Sessa. An instructor at a New England prep school remains on campus during Christmas break to babysit a handful of students with nowhere to go. He soon forms an unlikely bond with a brainy but damaged troublemaker and with the school's head cook. First things first, the performances in this film are just incredible. So the movie focuses on these three main characters, but the beauty about it is that these three actors all had a moment to shine throughout the film. The movie allowed the actor to play out the scene and to just nourish it. When the camera focused on that character, the entire scene belonged to that character. And I appreciate the film for allowing these actors to just fully embody and have fun with these characters. The biggest standout in this whole film, hands down, is Paul Giamatti. Like, this guy makes the movie, if we're being honest. Out of all of the movies I have seen that stars Paul Giamatti, this is hands down top 3 best performances from Paul, like without a doubt. This man just absolutely soars in every single aspect you can imagine. At the beginning of the film, he is practically this snarky, uptight professor who is a tough grader, but by the very end, you see him make this ultimate sacrifice out of love after having a significant change of heart. But the journey getting from point A to point B with his character was just genuine, wholesome, and honestly, it just makes me love his character so much. Paul balances drama and comedy so fluidly to the point in which it doesn't feel like one aspect is outweighing the other. It's like the perfect balance, and I appreciate that. I recently found out that he got nominated for a Golden Globe, which I believe was for Best Actor in a Leading Role for a comedy film. He has to win. Like, his performance was way too good. Like, that performance was just pure bliss. But overall, he's charismatic, he's funny, he knows how to bring in the dramatic moments, and then he's just, even though in the beginning his character is kind of an insufferable asshole, he's got that Paul Giamattiism to it. Like, you can't hate him. Divine Joy Randolph was outstanding in this film. She certainly had a couple of moments in which she really reeled in the emotional moments, and it really made me feel connected to her character. Like, out of all the characters, she has suffered the worst, and Divine's performance was one for the books, in my opinion. To play this grieving mother who practically lost everything and to try and just keep it all together, that takes a level of courage and faith that I don't even think most people can inherit. But Divine's performance truly embodied that. And Dominic Sessa, like, he was incredible. I have never heard of this dude a day in my life. I don't know if this is like his first ever big major movie role, or did he do something prior to this, but this is my first time ever hearing about him. He was incredible. Like, wow. The tight and quippy chemistry that he has with Paul Giamatti's character, it is just absolutely phenomenal, which comes across as some of the most genuine and most heartwarming performances I've ever seen from two actors on screen. It is wholesome. Like, it's got a lot of heart, and I love that. Whenever these two are just bantering back and forth, it is honestly some of the biggest highlights of the entire film. Like, the chemistry is just, it's so fluid. Like, the moment they have their first scene together, it is just non-stop banter. But Dominic Sessa and the rest of the cast, absolute bliss on screen. I absolutely loved the story here. The story takes these three characters and forms this beautiful, wholesome bond between the three of them and makes it some of the best on-screen performances I have seen this year. And this movie, it really gets you in the Christmas spirit. And that there is why this movie should be labeled as Christmas Movie of the Year, because this movie is just, it is beautiful. It is a really beautiful and compelling movie, and I cannot stress that enough. But what I love the most about this story is that it takes the concepts of friendship, family, abandonment, and overcoming grief and presents it in such a melancholy way to the point which it really makes you value and appreciate the things that you have in this world. When it comes to bringing in the emotional moments, this movie really, really hits the nail on it. Like, there are just some beautiful and just heartfelt moments throughout this entire film. In fact, there are way more emotional moments than I thought there was going to be, especially during the final act. It almost got me. It almost got me. And I appreciated the humor in this movie. But I will say this. I did not find the humor to be as funny as I had thought it was going to be. So don't get me wrong. There is humor and it is funny. But I feel like the movie rather focused more on the drama aspects than the humorous aspects. And this movie has some great editing. And I think along with the editing comes like this beautiful camera work that really complements the atmosphere and the tone of the film. For example, there is a scene where Paul's character is looking for Dominic's character, and when Paul's character walks through the front door of the school, the camera will zoom out and show this giant wide shot of the entire school, like the front of it. And I thought that was a really neat shot. I don't know what camera they used to create this grainy effect throughout the film, but it looked beautiful. That grainy effect was kind of reminiscing of 80s films and how they used to look back then, and I thought that was a nice touch. But I will say this though, that grainy effect and those camera shots really complemented the somber yet heartfelt tone of the film. And I think that level of craftsmanship should not go unnoticed. But in the end, y'all, The Holdovers is one of the most heartfelt, most touching films I have seen this year. I am upset that I waited this long to see this film. But then again, this is a Christmas movie and I saw it during the month of Christmas. Perfect time to see it. So, plugging The Holdovers into the rank system, I am placing this one into the pinnacle zone. But yeah, that is pretty much my review for The Holdovers. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about The Holdovers. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What is your favorite Christmas holiday film? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you all in the next one.
After working up the nerve almost equal in size, I walked around with the iron for any wrinkle in time. I paid a piece of my mind for every nickel and dime, but never less than a 5 and never slept on a job. A killer crept on your squad, yet never left the garage, where your guide was close enough to see the flesh of his eyes. Get to the button and press it's what the